says we're live. Let's do it. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhouse here with the Man Hour. Every day we start the show with some shocked energy news, and today is no different. This is powered by Shock, guys. Link is in the description below. Check it out, shockedenergy.com. Use promo code MANHOUR. But this is the time of year where we're doing all of our NFL draft grades, right? Barstool Sports is doing it. Mel Kiper, CBS, NBC, Tony Cowherd, or whatever the hell that guy's name is. Everybody. But the best ones are right here with D. Wyatt Williams. The reason why I say this is because Barstool Sports, of course, we all strive to be on Barstool Sports or ESPN, but guys, Barstool Sports literally shit the bed with these rankings. They ranked all 32 NFL teams. Wyatt, 26 A-pluses were on their draft grades. So they're saying 26 of the NFL teams literally nailed this year's draft. A+. Then there are 4 teams that they gave F and F minuses. First of all, F minus doesn't exist. F is the lowest possible grade you can get. And then they gave a C like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, Barstool Sports, we love you. We all strive to be like you. We would love to be on your be on your network at some point in time. But these rankings are flabbergasting. And yes, that is my word of the day, is flabbergasting. So to even think like you guys are fooling anybody with 26 A-pluses, I was in high school for 7 years, and I didn't even get 26 A-pluses all through 7 years of high school. So, but then people are like, hey, let's flash back to 2012 when Barstool Sports gave the Seattle Seahawks an F during their NFL draft grade, right? In that particular draft, they drafted Bruce Irving, a great linebacker, Bobby Wagner, one of the best linebackers ever, and of course, Russell Wilson. So, is Barstool Sports all what it's cracked up to be? Who knows? If you guys want true draft rankings, you are in the right spot. Man Hour Nation, buckle up for a great show tonight. Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that then. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that. Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, still listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Cone.
And Wyatt.
You know what's going on. Man, now what?
Yes, sir.
After Dark, no LA. We the big spot.
singing.
No 4th and inches, won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers. Go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhouse here with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com and check out the merchandise page. We got fresh new merch. We got Team Buck merch. We got the Beastie merch here, and we got the Nana is my favorite shirt as well. That is dropping next week, so be prepared for that. Also, probably got to get some waffle merch out there because the man, the myth, the legend himself is back, the Wyatt Williams. So let's, without further ado, let's bring that luscious locks of hair onto the show. Wyatt, what's going on today, man?
Nothing much. Just woke up this morning ready to talk about some sports. I hear Beastie has called upon myself for the NFC North draft grades, and I guess he doesn't agree with them. So it's official. Brandon Combs is delusional. If he wasn't before, he definitely is now. Yeah.
So Beastie obviously was jumping in the Facebook chat last night, or yes, I keep thinking we're doing nighttime shows, Wyatt, but yesterday morning Beastie was in that chat and he was dogging your rankings left and right, and it was dreadful to see because he thinks the Chicago Bears are going to be some great franchise and some great team. And Beastie, what's up, man? How are you doing this morning, buddy?
What is going on, Buck? What is going on, Man Hour Nation? What is going on, Mr. Hair? What's up, Wyatt?
The hair.
What's going on, Combsy?
Not much, man. Not much. Look, I heard your little intro, and some of the stuff I said yesterday about the Bears was said in jest. Obviously,
Don't let
I
him
don't
fool you,
really
Wyatt.
think the Bears are going to be in second place in the division.
Whoa. Hashtag waffle. Okay, so the boys have been back together for literally 36 seconds, and Combs has already waffled. We already had a hair bet, and then Wyatt just throws his locks of hair across the room, and my soul just melted because I'm envy of his luscious red hair. So you are telling me, Combs, that the Chicago Bears are not going to get second place in the division?
No, look, I think the Bears they're in a rebuild, right? And, that was my problem yesterday with Wyatt thing. Because Wyatt comes at things from a fan's perspective, right? Like, he doesn't come at things from a position of reality. Did the Bears have a bad draft? No. Did they build around Justin Fields per se? A little bit, but not really. What they did was they rebuilt the secondary. They started to rebuild the secondary, which they desperately needed. They started to rebuild that defense a little bit, which they definitely need to do. And then they got him some help with the kid out of Tennessee, Jones. I really like this kid. He's great in the open field. And that's kind of the theme the Bears have gone this offseason. When they went out and get Byron Pringle, when they went out and get Equinemius St. Brown, they're going for speed on the wide receiver path, and they're going for guys who are good with yards after the catch, guys who can break tackles, guys who can make you miss in the open field. And that's how they're building around Justin Fields. The Bears aren't going to be any more than a 5 to 6 win team this season, and they know that. They're kind of going with that Cubs approach from back in 2011 when Theo Epstein took over with the, hey, look, I know we're going to be bad for a couple of years, but it's going to get better. We have to rebuild this thing from the ground up. And it started with Justin Fields, and then it went into this draft. I really liked the Bears draft. I really did. I thought the Bears had a good draft. And I'm not going into this saying, oh, well, why didn't they build around Justin Fields? They didn't build around Justin Fields per se, because they did that in free agency. And what was available to them at the time that they actually got the pick, which was at 39, there wasn't that top, wide receiver or top offensive lineman that was really there. And they went with the need. But they went with the need. Their need was at safety. Their need was at cornerback. Those were bigger needs than wide receiver was. And they addressed the offensive line in free agency as well.
Wyatt, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, at the time, Velus Jones was the best receiver on the board when they were picking. So I will give him that. And that's why I had that as my best pick for the Bears. But Velus is already 26. He's a rookie in the NFL, and he is 26 already. So while that was the only thing they did to build around him and give him any kind of weapon. And while Combs is correct, he is very good in the open field. He's also a great return man. He's 26. They lost Allen Robinson, who was 28, and an A-minus wide receiver who just had a shaky-ish year last year, and they replaced him with Byron Pringle, a half of a Pringles can, and Velus Jones.
You're coming at it with the D. That's what I'm saying. It was my whole issue with your take yesterday from the start was because you come from a place of a fan who can't get past your fandom. I mean, what did you guys do for Mr. $50 million? What weapons did you guys give him?
Oh, we got Christian Watson. We
Sammy
got
Watkins?
Romeo Doubs. We got three. We picked up Sammy Watkins through the free agency. We've still got Alan Lazard, who I think is a dog. And then we drafted
Sammy Watkins
three
was
wide
just as good of a
receivers.
pickup. Sammy Watkins is just as good of a pickup as Byron Pringle was. Sammy Watkins was the same wide receiver that Byron Pringle was last year. What are you talking about? Yes, he was. He was used the same way in the Kansas City offense.
First of all, Sammy Watkins played for the Miami Dolphins the last 2 seasons, Combs.
Sorry, I said the wrong team. But either way, he had Tua freaking thrown to him. I believe when he played for the freaking didn't he play for the Ravens last year, actually?
I think you're right.
Yeah, he played for the Ravens.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Sammy Watkins has been that guy. Sammy Watkins has gone from team to team to team, and Sammy Watkins is such a great pickup. Maybe some of those other teams might have kept him.
Well, when we look at Sammy Watkins, he really hasn't done anything since he left the Buffalo Bills. And then did he go directly to Kansas City from Buffalo Bills? I can't remember for sure.
Yeah, he went Buffalo, Kansas City, then he went to
Baltimore.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Sammy Watkins, like, for Green Bay and what they're doing, for you to think that Green Bay is not going to be better than Minnesota this year. I mean, they're just not. Look, I heard you yesterday say Minnesota's just that team, every other team in the NFC North. That's not the Packers. It's just that team that finds a way to lose. What they did was they went out and they got an offensive head coach. They got away from the idiot that was making play calls, much like the Bears did. And they went out and, I mean, I didn't like their draft. I'll give you that much. I didn't like the trading down 20 picks and letting a division rival get one of the top wide receivers in the draft. I didn't like that. But this team is already so damn good. And I really like Kevin O'Connell as their head coach. I really think that the Minnesota Vikings win this division. I don't think that the Green Bay Packers, I joked around a little bit when I said they're, no more than 4 wins trying to get under Wyatt's skin yesterday. But I really don't see this team being more of an 8 to 10 win team. And 10-7 is not going to win this division with the Minnesota Vikings in the division. I really think that the Minnesota Vikings are going to be one of those 12-5 or 11-6 type teams.
So, Wyatt, let me ask you this question here. The Vikings finished 8-9 last season, missed the playoffs. You had them as a B+ draft simply because they added draft capital for next season, not particularly this draft. And they didn't add really any pieces on the offensive side of the ball besides a offensive-minded head coach. How can Combs realistically say that they are going to be 11 to 12 win team when their draft was mediocre? They still had that same offense, but just a new head coach that, is not really going to be able to implement his offense with Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins is just not a very good quarterback. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, last year they're below 500 last year, and they didn't go out and really make any huge free agent signings. Like I said, the draft was good. I think that I liked how they had traded. I do agree with Combs on that. I don't like how they traded down to a division rival and gave them a big time playmaker. I think that is incredibly stupid, but they did it. So I mean, I think they're a under 500 team, and I think next year is most likely going to end up being the same thing because, unless if Kirk Cousins is able to pull it together for all 17 games, then it's just they're not going to win games, and that's what we've seen over the last 2 years. I mean, the Vikings haven't had a 10-win season.
Well, who's been calling their plays for them though, Wyatt?
Mike Zimmer's been calling the plays, yeah. They got a defensive guy calling the plays, but they've got some weapons on that offense. They've got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and they just continue to not use them right and waste that talent. And I don't
exactly, and that's where Kevin O'Connell is going to change that around. Kevin O'Connell will definitely change that around. Kevin O'Connell was going to bring that Los Angeles Rams offense over to Minnesota, and they're going to be a much better offense than what you think. And I'm telling you right now, the Minnesota Vikings are a much improved team just by changing their head coach. And you know what, Buck? I'm going to tell you right now. You know what, Wyatt? Listen to me. This guy right here, Mr. Buck himself, okay, he talks about you waffling. He talks about me waffling. 7 hours ago, he posted his most overrated quarterbacks, and there was a comment under the most overrated quarterbacks in which somebody said Kirk Cousins needs to be there. And what did Buck say? He said, I actually think Kirk Cousins is underrated. But he just said here, Kirk Cousins isn't that good of a quarterback. Mr. Waffle himself, Buck.
I was trying to get underneath your skin just because, like, I know how you work, and like I know exactly how to get that blood pressure raised, Combs. And if I say the right thing, boom, somebody better call 911. But let me address that comment about how you keep bringing the coaching aspect into this mix here. We've seen the Detroit Lions. This is Dan Campbell's second or third year, right? And we are seeing it that it will take a full year to maybe even a year and a half to really implement your culture, your scheme, just your people. So to expect this Rams guru to come in and to instantly change the Vikings culture and their mindset, like, you're reaching there, much like you're reaching for the Chicago Bears to even get 6 wins with their new head coach and GM.
I agree. I think that the Bears are a 6-win team, but I think that the new head coach, I think that I really do like the addition of Byron Pringle. You watched Byron Pringle last year.
I do too.
Byron Pringle plays bigger than what he is listed as. Byron Pringle is one of those guys who will go up and get the ball. And I know that Wyatt had said, yeah, the Bears, we lose Allen Robinson. But Allen Robinson, his entire career, has been one of those guys that is all right in open field. But if he has to win a jump ball for a big wide receiver, he can't do that. He can't play in coverage. 107. I've watched this guy every single game for the last 4 years, Wyatt. This guy does not win jump balls. He does it. He can't go up in coverage and win the jump ball. He can't go up in coverage. He's not that guy you can just toss the ball up to like a Hopkins or any of those guys that you can toss the ball up to and he's going to go and fight for the ball and win it in coverage. He's not that guy.
Well, first off, the only reason why Hopkins even ever did anything is because he was using PEDs. That's a terrible example.
Oh, God.
Here
we go.
It is.
Here we go.
So, Combs.
Here we go.
So Wyatt, what you don't know is Combs just bought a very, very nice new truck here, and we heard him really romping on that gas earlier. Combs, you realize gas is like $4.60 a gallon, right? You should ease into that accelerator.
But listen to me. When I filled up my tank the other day, it's $4.59 by me, and what I did the other day was I was just under a half a tank, so I was like, you know what? Let me fill this up. It'll be cheaper than if I wait all the way, because I haven't really gone all the way down to E to fill it up. So I went. It was half a tank. It was $82.
Yep. Hell, my Camry's costing that much to fill from empty to full. So
I'm like, holy.
So Combs, Wyatt gave the Packers a grade, the Lions an A grade, the Vikings a B plus, and Wyatt, what'd you give the Bears? You gave them a C, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what
imagine
what are your thoughts on those draft grades? Like, are they spot on, or would you adjust them a little bit?
I would give the Bears a B.
Okay.
I would give the Packers an A. I would give the Lions an A plus, and I would actually give the Vikings the C because of that trade with the Lions. That, to me, that didn't make any sense. Why they didn't stay at 12 and take that wide receiver to be on the opposite side of Jefferson and just stack that,
because they don't need a receiver
there. Well,
they have Adam Thielen there.
Yeah, you have Adam Thielen, but Adam Thielen's not getting younger, right? And you could have really had that dynamic 1-2 punch. And even if you throw Thielen in there, to me, Thielen's getting older. Thielen's not that same guy. It's more of the what are we going to do next year, the year after, and all that. I really did not like the Vikings draft at all. So they're the ones I give the C. The Bears, it's because it's out of necessity. It's what they went out and they did. They saw what they needed. They went out and got what they needed, as opposed to, hey, let's go out and try to win maybe 1 or 2 more games this year by giving Justin Fields another weapon. So instead of being a 5 to 6 win team, we'll be a 7 to 8 win team and still miss the playoffs. No, they're thinking about building now and winning later. And that's what the Bears franchise has lacked for so long. And I'm really happy to see Ryan Poles, finally a GM, going out there and doing the right thing and building this thing the right way. Are we going to be bad this year? Sure. Is it going to be tough to watch from a fan's perspective? Yes. But for me, I'm excited to see what growth you get out of Justin Fields. Yes, I know you didn't go and get him a ton of weapons, but I like what they did with Byron Pringle and Equinemius St. Brown. And I like the kid out of the Jones kid out of Tennessee.
Yep.
I like what they did there. So I just want to see some growth. I want to see some movement forward and see what we can do. Because who knows what Matt Eberflus is capable of doing with this team and what the offensive coordinator that he's bringing along is able to do with this offense. I want to see a system built around Justin Fields as opposed to a coach trying to bring Justin Fields to a system.
Okay, so Wyatt, you've heard Combs kind of state his case of like how you should raise that Bears grade. He wants to grade off the curve there. Are you taking anything into consideration about giving them a higher grade after you heard his state there?
Oh, because I like Combs and I've missed him, I'll give him a C+ instead of a C. How about that?
There you go. C's get degrees. So, Combs.
Freaking Homer.
So, Combs, last night I did do a live show and I released my top 5 overrated quarterbacks in the NFL going into the 2022 NFL season. So, obviously, I have Lamar Jackson at number 1. Lamar Jackson is hands down the most overrated quarterback in the league. At number 2,
oh my God.
At number 2, I have Aaron freaking Rodgers. So I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is a bad quarterback by any means, but I'm saying $50 million for a first-round playoff exit is kind of a lot of money. So what are your first initial reactions when you hear Aaron Rodgers is the second most overrated quarterback in the league going into 2022?
Well, I think that's the most buck list we've ever had on this show. It's definitely a buck list. I don't know how you rate a former MVP who
two-time MVP, back to
still
back
at the prime of his career. No, I'm talking about Lamar. And then Aaron Rodgers, like I agree with you. I think that the Packers paid the wrong person. I'm not going to call him overrated because he's still the second best quarterback in the NFL. I keep hearing Wyatt say he's the best quarterback. He's still not better than Tom Brady because Tom Brady still wins championships and Aaron Rodgers just choked.
So he's a second
Tom
greatest
Brady
quarterback in the league.
Retired and came back.
Okay.
And Tom Brady retired is still better than Aaron Rodgers on the field because Tom Brady retired is going to go to more freaking Super Bowls than Aaron Rodgers is while he's on the field in the Green Bay Packers uniform.
Gosh.
They paid the wrong person. They should have paid Devontae Adams.
Playoff. I don't necessarily disagree with that. First off, second off, in the playoffs, yes, I'll give you that. Tom Brady obviously in the playoffs is a better quarterback, but if we're talking just like football all in general, he won the MVP the last 2 years.
Touchdowns last year.
He got lucky.
And Aaron Rodgers was the most valuable player in the NFL the last 2 years. Most valuable player, the most valuable player, MVP.
He's the most valuable player in his own mind. You know why he's the most valuable player? Because he whines and all the attention is on him. Even Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, doesn't like the Green Bay Packers. And he's their damn quarterback.
That's false.
And they just paid him $50 million.
That is very false.
That's false.
To pay him $50 million a year, he doesn't even like his own damn team, doesn't like the ownership, doesn't like the coach. I mean, I don't understand what they were doing.
So
your losses.
So basically, you guys are saying to me that Aaron Rodgers is not overrated, and he will live up to the $50 million hype this season, a.k.a. win a Super Bowl, right?
He's not overrated. He's overpaid. He's overpaid.
Okay.
He won't live up to $50 million because for $50 million, you should win a Super Bowl, and he's not going to win the Super Bowl. If he was going to do that, he would have done it, 20 years ago when he had a chance to.
True. So number
he did it. That's the only time he could win it.
12 years ago? All right, so Wyatt, number 3 on my list, I have Russell Wilson. Let Russ cook. I have him as a third most overrated quarterback in the NFL coming into 2022. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree.
Well, I
agree. I think Russell Wilson is very overrated.
Oh no, guys.
Tell me why, Wyatt. Why is he not overrated? Is it the 9-0 start stat that he has and then still misses the playoffs, or is it the 8-0 starts when they go 8-8 and they make the playoffs in the first round exit?
He only didn't make the playoffs this year. He has made it for I don't even know how many years consecutively before this.
You're right.
And second off, Russell Wilson is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Overrated, yes.
Easily a top 5 quarterback. I mean, danger Russ. Just let him cook. He's a dog. If you watch him play football,
okay.
he is spectacular.
Okay, so pause. Every time they quote "let Russ cook," they are a 500 team at best because that's what happens
when they take it away. When they let him cook, that's when he's 8-0. And then Pete Carroll was always like, "Oh, I got to get the power struggle. Give me the ropes again." And then he would just grab the bandwagon and run it into the ground, and then Russ would get blamed for it.
Okay, so Combs, why do you think Russ is overrated? Like, obviously, Wyatt thinks he's a top 5 quarterback, and me and you both think he is overrated. Why do you think he's overrated, Combs?
Wyatt, do you think Justin Fields is a top 5 quarterback?
Do I think Justin Fields is a top 5? No. Do I think he has the potential to be eventually at one point, like 5 years down the road, and whenever he decides that, hey, I need to leave Chicago?
Bingo.
Maybe, yes.
So then why do you think Russell Wilson's a top 5 quarterback? Because they had pretty much the same season last year.
Oh my God. Russ was hurt 90% of the year last year. What was it? Like, how many games did he miss?
I'm talking about when he played. When he played, he had more weapons than my guy over here in Chicago had that you don't like just because he's in Chicago. I'm not even going to say his name because I don't want you to freaking go out there and be, oh, you got to leave Chicago. You're such a Green Bay Packers fan. Russell Wilson is overrated because Russell Wilson is overrated. Russell Wilson is not that guy. Denver got worse with that trade.
Oh, my God. No, do not say that.
I wouldn't say they got worse, but they didn't get
You're telling me if you got a choice between Drew Lock and Russell Wilson, you're taking Drew Lock.
I am, yes.
Can you right now say that on the airwaves for me?
Yes, I am.
Right now, at this point, if you're telling me Russ 5 years ago, absolutely give me Russ. If you're telling me Russ for the 2022-2023 season, I'll take Drew Lock.
Do you want to know why? Just like what I said last night there, Wyatt. Drew Lock, you know that what you're going to get. Drew, he is in there to hand the ball off and to nickel and dime down the field. Russ thinks he has to put this team on his shoulder and then push the ball down the field and throw it into triple coverage. That's why Russell Wilson is overrated. He had DK Metcalf last season, and they didn't even make the playoffs. DK Metcalf is arguably a top 5 receiver in the league. Tyler Lockett is a top 10 receiver in the league. And you let Russ cook, and he doesn't make the playoffs? Come on, man.
Listen to this. While not being healthy literally the entire year last year.
Okay.
While not being healthy the entire year last year, Russell Wilson still completed 65% of passes, threw for 3,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, and only 6 picks. And he had a QB rating, a QBR of 103.1.
How many wins did he have last season?
He's hurt all year. And
No. How many wins did they have last season?
How many people are on a football team?
52, 53 if you wanted to.
Wyatt.
More than one. One.
Let me tell you something, Wyatt. You can let Russ cook if you want to, but just like you told me a couple of weeks ago over the phone, if you let Russ cook just like Nikki, you're going to get burnt food.
Wow. Don't ever say that, Combs. She's watching, man. So number 4, I have Kyler Murray as an overrated quarterback as well. What do you guys' thoughts on that one? Kyler Murray, ranked number 4, overrated quarterback.
I would say this is the one quarter. See, I'd say this is the one quarterback on the list that I'm like, I could see it. I still don't 100% agree because I think that Kyler Murray is still really good. I just without DeAndre Hopkins last year, he had a 43.1 QBR. That is really, really, really bad. And the QBR is a stat to where, like, you know, you don't really need the influence of having all these great players and all. It's just about your rating, how you played, how you succeeded in your offense and all that stuff. So, you know, do you make mistakes? Do you throw too many incompletions? You know, how many touchdowns do you have? All that stuff is factored in to make your QBR. And a perfect QBR is a 158.3. Okay? Kyler Murray without DeAndre Hopkins has a 43.1 QBR. He is over 100 points below a perfect QBR. Over 100 points away from it. And
Trevor Lawrence had a
Russ
better
last
QBR
year
than him.
was a 103.1. Russ was 60 QBR points ahead of Kyler Murray last year and played like possibly half or a third or 3/4 of the games that Kyler did, and doesn't have the defense or weapons that Kyler has.
And on the flip side of that, the Arizona Cardinals have not given him a big contract yet. They offered him just to give that 5th-year option. So therefore, that tells you that the Arizona Cardinals are not sold on Kyler Murray as their franchise quarterback. Otherwise, they would have gave him the next big deal, right?
Yeah, probably. I agree.
I'm on the fence with this one. Like, I really am. Like, I like Kyler Murray. I really think I'm a Kyler Murray. I mean, I picked the Cardinals to be 14-3 last year.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
And well, I mean, I think they were 13-4 or 12-5. I mean, it wasn't that far off.
They were,
but
with the first round exit.
They still had double-digit wins
with the first round exit.
Yeah, like they were really, really good. I mean, I think they started the season 9-0.
They were actually 11-0. They were 11-0.
I mean, what I could have done was say the Lions are going to win the division every fucking year.
They will eventually. They will eventually.
No, look, I like Kyler Murray. I'm a believer in Kyler Murray, but the way they got into that pass that he tried at the end of that game, in that playoff game, like I'm getting tackled, let me just throw it up underhand, blind, like.
That was the playoff game that happened?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought that was like.
That was how they got knocked out of the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Sorry,
and
I forgot all about that.
I don't not believe in Kyler Murray anymore. Like I still like Kyler. I still think he can be that guy. I still think that the Arizona Cardinals are better with Kyler Murray right now than without him. I'm not going to say he's overrated, but I'm not to the point where I'm going to say he's underrated either. I think right now at this point, Kyler Murray is where he is. And if they go out this year and they underperform, if they miss the playoffs, or if they get into the playoffs, they have another first-round exit, and he plays poorly again like that in the playoffs, I might be with you on this list.
Well, truth be told, Colt McCoy will start more games than Kyler Murray this season for the Arizona Cardinals. But Combs, before we let you go and start your workday up there in Chicago, you are a Chicago Cubs fan, and there is another team on the south side of Chicago by the name of the Chicago White Sox. Many people think this battle is a rivalry. Is it still a rivalry to you, Combs, anymore? Like, do you get excited about playing the White Sox, or are you more excited playing about the Brewers or the Cardinals?
Look, this rivalry, and I say that with air quotes around it.
I felt air quotes.
It's a fans rivalry because it's just not a rivalry. We play each other now. With this year, they used to be we play each other 6 times a year. Now we play them this year. We're only playing them 4 times. 2 games at Wrigley, 2 at guaranteed rate, and it's just not like it's not that. It's not. There's no it's not a rivalry. It's for the fans. To me, it's fun to joke around with my friends who are White Sox fans and give them grief, when they're playing the Cubs, sure. But when they're not playing the Cubs, I like the White Sox. I like watching these guys play ball. I like how they play. I mean, Tim Anderson's one of my favorite players in the game. This just isn't a rivalry and shouldn't be a rivalry. I think that when a team plays in a different league and you only play them a handful of times a season, and the only reason you play each other is because you play in the same city, that's not a rivalry. That's not a rivalry. It's for the fans. It's MLB thinking, hey, we can make some extra money here. I mean, the stands at Wrigley last night, I mean, it was 46 degrees at game time, and it was raining. The stands were so empty.
Pass.
And it's just nobody was there, and it's not the same. Do I root for the White Sox when they're playing the Cubs? No, obviously not. I'm a Cubs fan, so I root for the Cubs. It's the Cardinals and the Brewers that I hate. The Cardinals and the Brewers that are the rivalry. The White Sox aren't a rivalry except for the idiot fans that want to get drunk and fight about their teams in the stands and get into fistfights and end up on YouTube.
That was so stupid.
So why you are a Cubs
fighting?
You are a Cubs fan. You root for the Cubs. You got a Cubs hat on right now. That you can put a ponytail to. Do you get excited about playing the White Sox? Or are you more worried about playing the Brewers or the Cardinals or any other team besides the White Sox?
I mean, I second Combs. I mean, I think it's a bigger rivalry for the division rivals, especially with St. Louis. And the Brewers are a big rivalry too, but especially with St. Louis. So, yeah, I mean, our team right now, we brought in Stroman, and he's pretty much played like trash. He picked it up the other day finally. But before that, it was pretty much just Seiya Suzuki fighting all for our 9 wins that we currently have. So other than that, I could say Seiya's a dog, at least. Seiya. I'm getting a Seiya Suzuki jersey.
Hey, Wyatt,
that guy's
do you
different.
agree with me? Like, for me, the biggest reason I hate the Milwaukee Brewers, Craig Counsell's face makes me want to kick puppies every time they put it on camera. I can't stand Craig Counsell's face, man.
No,
Every time they show him, I'm like, dude, you're fucking like. No, I want to kick puppies every time I see his face.
Well,
as a matter of fact, if I ever met Craig Counsell, I would abuse a puppy.
You guys would see eye to eye. So me and Combs, you'd have a great fight on your hands.
What are you kidding me? He'd be at my kneecap.
No, he's probably at least 5'9". Anyways, Combs, it's time for you to get to work, man. Have a great day at work. Feel free to tune in and talk some trash over there on the YouTube channel. I got to work it today, so I'm pretty proud about that. So Combs, any closing thoughts before we let you go and save the world and kill some puppies? Apparently,
yeah. I got two things real quick. Wyatt, every time I get into my truck, I still have your damn glove in the back of the truck. I'm going to UPS today. I'm gonna send it out to you. I promise you, it's gonna happen today because I have to go to UPS for work anyway. But
nice.
The second thing is, Wyatt, I just want to congratulate you on everything that you're doing. I also want to congratulate you on all the regular season championships your team has won because you are so proud of how good they do in the regular season over there in Green Bay. So congratulations on all them regular season championships. Maybe one day you'll get to see a Super Bowl, when you're not in diapers.
All right. And with that being said, Combsy,
I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. We will talk to you tomorrow, bud.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right, guys, that is Mr. Brandon Beastie Combs on the phone there. Beastie joins us every 7:15 right here, East Coast time, moving forward here. So, guys, we're up against the first break. On the other side of the break there, Wyatt, we got some burning questions. People hit me up on the old Twitter machine, and we got 6 burning questions that we're going to ask, and we're going to answer them. And then coming hour number 2, the infamous AFC North, breaking down those draft grades. We got, that's right. We got the Ravens overrated. We got the Browns overrated. We got the Bengals overrated, and we got the best team in the division, the Pittsburgh Steelers. No, I'm totally kidding. But hour number 2, guys, AFC North rankings coming up here. But stay tuned. We got to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
I give a slight edge, Mike, to Marquette because they're playing on their home court, and Marquette's been taking care of business on the road. Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Every time, though. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that why I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, get cold. You know what I'm want to talk to what you about to hear right here. I second that.
So, you know that it's up when we talk about sports. Giving you perks on the field to the court. So on here, we get the support. 1 hour too short to listen to all. Your station not dropping no music. Strike like Adidas.
Station not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're after dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live off 3 speakers, go.
You're watching Man Hour. Hit that like button, baby.
Man Hour Nation, it's your boy BC Beastie Brandon Combs coming to you with a special message. 22 veterans a day commit suicide. Now, that's 22 too many. And here at the Man Hour, we want to bring awareness to this. Our brothers and sisters deserve our support and our help. With the Take 22 merch, it's a small opportunity to show our appreciation and support to our veterans and take a small step to ending veteran suicide and treating PTSD properly. Every dollar spent on our Take 22 merch will be donated to the cause. So Man Hour Nation, rise up and show your support.
No, I didn't hear about that.
I give a slight edge, Mike, to Marquette because they're playing on their home court, and Marquette's been taking care of business on the road.
Yeah.
So I got like messed up because of it. He's fine now. Like didn't have to like remove his eye or anything like that. But
All right, we're getting ready to come back. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Where's it at? And welcome back to Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckhouse with the B. Wyatt Williams, guys. We are blessing your airways this morning. So, guys, if you be most inclined, head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page. Check out the blog section. Our man Mitch Hill just dropped a blog about the Houston Texans draft grade, so feel free to check that out. That is the most recent blog over there at manhourradio.com. And, of course, if you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can find us on Belly Up TV on the Apple TV, and of course Roku TV. Simply search for Belly Up Sports, and we're there at 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. East Coast times, so you get to see this beautiful live show there, even though it's not quite live, but it is live, if that makes sense. There's a little hour delay, so they can mute me if I say some bad words, something I don't know, but nonetheless, we do have a great last about hour left here, and so every Wednesday we do burning questions. So Wyatt, people hit me up on the old Twitter machine at manhour_buck, and they slide into the DMs or they give me hashtag burning questions, and they give us some burning questions that they want to know about us or about NFL. Are you ready? Are you prepared to answer these questions truthfully and honestly?
I am completely and utterly ready.
Okay, so hashtag waffle it around. So question number 1 comes from our man Drew. So Drew hit me up last night, and we know how fond you are of Kevin King. You and Kevin King are like BFFs. You are the best friends ever, right? So with that being said, we are seeing Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen teaming up in a golf scramble to take on Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. So the question has been
get smoked.
So the question has been asked, Wyatt. You are a golfing guy now. You are in the golfing capital of the world, right? Can you beat Kevin King head-to-head on the golf course?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I haven't seen him play.
Me neither. I
don't
don't know where the question
I don't know
came
if he's
from.
good.
But
I mean, I'm not good. Let's start with that. I'm not like I don't par every hole. I just started like almost a year ago. I started golfing, so
right.
I'm not I'm not the greatest in the world. But I will say, if I have a really good day and he has a really bad day, I feel confident enough that I could win. Because I've had days before where like I played 18 and on the back 9 I was only like +3 over par, something like that. And then on the front 9 I was only like +4. So on the day overall I was like I don't remember, like I think I ended up being like +10 somewhere around there. I know like I just said 3 and I think I said like 7 or something like that. So it should be 10, but I'm not 100% sure what it was, but I know I was only +3 on the back 9 because it was like the greatest accomplishment of my life at this point.
There you go.
So I was pumped about that. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know how good Kevin King is, but like I said, if he catches me on my good day, I got confidence.
He is going to catch those hands. No, but I feel golf is like a sport where like there is no athletic ability involved. Like it is, for one, it is a lot of luck. It is a lot of repetition, right? And just there's just a lot of swinging this clubs over and over and over, and you just knowing how to hit the ball. So if Kevin King plays golf the way he plays cornerback, why you are going to mop the floor with this kid 100%. There is no question in my mind that you will literally say, "Who's your daddy?" and then he will say, "You are my daddy" for the next 100 years, just because like that is how great you will be. But on the flip side of that, man, he is a professional athlete, Colm, or like Wyatt, and he does have a lot of spare time from getting burned because he doesn't play a lot on Sundays like anymore anyway. So maybe he's finding the golf course a lot. So, but yeah,
maybe.
Come on, Drew. We know Wyatt's going to win that golf game. Man, jeez, Drew, that's a ridiculous question. Ridiculous question. So now let's get into some real sports here. I mean, we know Wyatt has a great golf game here, but Wyatt is even better at the NFL draft. So, Wyatt, this question is from me directed straight to you. A couple weeks ago, I said if a quarterback in this year's draft does not go in the top 16 or higher, this could arguably be the best quarterback draft class in a very, very long time. And that's exactly what happened. Obviously, Pickett went number 22, Pittsburgh. Ritter went in the 3rd round to the Falcons. Willis went in the 3rd round to the Titans, and Matt Carroll went in the 3rd round to the Carolina Panthers. So with that being said, these quarterbacks did not necessarily fall into horrible situations, but they didn't fall into great situations like either. So how do you feel that this quarterback class will shape up in 2, 3, 4 years down the road?
Well, down the road, I honestly really think it all has to depend on what you were talking about, just saying, the system fits. When I look at Kenny Pickett, I think he's in a good spot to succeed. I think he's got a nice chance to do something in Pittsburgh, or at least the pavement has been laid for him. It's time for him to drive the car now and just go forward. So Kenny Pickett, I think, has a good shot of being successful. At least at this moment, looks like it's going to be the highest shot of being successful. Then I would say you said it has potential to be a top 5 draft ever. Is that what you said?
Oh, it has a potential of being one of the best quarterback drafts in a very long time. So we're talking like the
quarterback.
Just the quarterbacks in general.
Oh man, I don't know. There's some really good quarterback groups like the Josh Allen. That one had Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen. Let's see, Lamar Jackson. Even though he ended up being a bust, Josh Rosen was in that class. Who else? Who else was in that? Like 2018. You know what I'm talking about? 2018 draft class. And then there's one not too long ago also. We had Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. Even though he's not that great, Mitch Trubisky, who is still a solid guy, a starter in the league. he was in that class. So as for the best in the last several years, I don't know. I think that they have a shot to be. Obviously, we haven't seen him play football yet, so we got to see how Ritter takes everything in while he's in Atlanta. We got to see the situation in Nashville. Seems like it's heating up. I mean, it seems Ryan Tannehill comes out yesterday and says, "Oh, I will not be. It's not my job to mentor all these people." And Kurt Warner
That was
actually got
the
pissed at him
worst
and
thing
said
he
something
could
on social
possibly
media.
have said ever, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was so sad. Basically, that right there was him signing off on like, yeah, you're gone, buddy. Like that was that moment for Tennessee. It was like, okay, well, we know like he's clearly not a leader now, and he's not, team first kind of guy. So yeah, I liked what Kurt Warner said though. Kurt Warner got on Twitter and said, for all young quarterbacks, if old guys won't mentor you and they're being stubborn, something like that, he was like, you can text me anytime you want. I'm here for you, all this stuff. So Kurt Warner's a good guy on that. And yeah, so I mean, and then you look at Carolina, I think Matt Corral has a decent chance to start. Even some of the undrafted guys, you look at like Carson Strong, who went to Philly, E.J. Perry, who also went to Philly. I think they've got a shot at being, backups for most of their career and being foundational guys. So, I mean, obviously we'll have to wait and see how this draft class, shapes up and see what's, how they play in their cities and everything. But obviously they got a shot. I will say though, for right now, I don't know if I had to bet on them being one of the top quarterback classes ever. I don't think I could, because like, you look back at like 83, they had let's see here, John Elway, Jim Kelly, and Dan Marino, Ken O'Brien as well.
Right.
You look at the 2004 class, Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers. I mean, I just named 3 Hall of Famers right there. And Matt Schaub was also in that group. He's not, terrible by any means.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Just
71
a horrible
is
team,
Joe
right?
Theismann. Yeah. Joe Theismann, Archie Manning, Jim Plunkett, Ken Anderson, Lynn Dickey. So there's just some great quarterback classes. Even Aaron Rodgers' quarterback class in 2005 wasn't too shabby. You got Aaron Rodgers, Alex Smith, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Matt Castle, Jason Campbell, Kyle Orton, and Derek Anderson. I mean, all solid guys who stayed in the league for a long time, and one of them ended up being one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. So, when you look at if this quarterback class has a shot to be a top quarterback class ever, obviously they do, because they're quarterback class, and they're rookies. They've got their whole career ahead of them. We'll have to see what they're able to do with it. But if I had $10 to put on this class to be top 5 class ever, I'm not putting my $10 on it. But
all right.
I do like this class. I think this is an underrated quarterback class, and I don't think it's a great class, but I think it's a good class. I think people are underestimating it for how, I don't want to say how good it is.
Well, one quarterback you are forgetting is my guy from the Kansas State University, Skylar Thompson. I cannot believe he fell to the 7th round, because I thought, he was going to get picked at least in the fifth round. But you use the term dog, and Skylar Thompson is a dog. This guy is tough as nails. He has like 17 arm surgeries in the last 4 years, and he is going to do well in the NFL if he gets a shot. So the next question here, speaking of rookie quarterbacks, last year we had a rookie quarterback class that was very highly sought out. A couple names that come to mind is Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. So right here on the Man Hour, Tori said that Zach Wilson is complete trash. And myself and Combs deemed Trevor Lawrence to be a bust. And I think you were kind of on that bus, or like you were not on that bus train for Trevor Lawrence at like at all. But looking at the stats from last year, Zach for the Jets had 2,300 yards, 9 touchdowns with 11 interceptions. And Trevor Lawrence had 3,600 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 17 interceptions. Do you think this quarterback class will be the worst quarterback class ever from the 2020 draft with Trevor Lawrence, Zach, and all those other guys, Mac Jones, etc.?
Ooh, do I think it's gonna be the worst ever? No. There's because you got like Mac Jones in that class too. You got to think we haven't even seen Trey Lance play yet. We really haven't even seen what Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence can do either because they spent all last year running for their lives. Or, Trevor Lawrence spent all last year running for his life and trying to pull his coach out of the strip club for the first half of the year.
Right.
But eventually, Shad Khan had to just fire him. So. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to judge this class too early yet, just because there's still plenty of time. I mean, they've only been in the league for a year. They just had their rookie year, and if you look back at rookie years historically, there have been a lot of guys who had terrible rookie years and went on to have incredible careers. Peyton Manning is one of those guys. Peyton Manning still to this day holds the record for most interceptions thrown in a rookie season. So
also landed on a better organization though.
Huh?
He was also on a better organization than the New York Football Jets and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So they're not in ideal situations.
Jacksonville had to pay a B-, maybe B wide receiver in Christian Kirk $80-something million to come by because nobody wants to go to Jacksonville. I can tell you, I live in Florida right now, and the least cool or wanting to go to or anything city in Florida or location in Florida is Jacksonville. Nobody here talks about Jacksonville. All my friends are like, oh, I'm going to Tampa for the weekend. We're going to the beach. Oh, I'm going to Daytona Beach for the weekend. Oh, I'm going to Fort Lauderdale. Oh, I'm going here. You know what they never say? Oh, I'm going to Duval County, Florida to Jacksonville. Nobody ever says that.
So wait. Jacksonville is actually in Duval County. Like that's why they say #Duval.
Yeah, that's why they say Duval because it's in Duval County.
Oh, that's so dumb. That is so dumb. Okay, that makes me hate the Jaguars that much worse. Oh my, that is so much worse. That is so much worse. So
it's horrible.
So why? Like I said, every Wednesday we have a list of burning questions here, guys. You can get me up on the burning questions at @manhour_buck on the old Twitter machine. Slide into those DMs or give me a #burning questions with and then at me. So why the next burning question that we have here? You are obviously an Aaron Rodgers fan. You are a Green Bay Packer fan. Aaron Rodgers purchased some land in Nashville this off season. So the burning question is, will Aaron Rodgers finish his career somewhere else?
No, I don't think so. He just signed that huge deal, and I think that deal was just a placeholder. I don't even think he finishes that deal. You know, for the last 3 seasons, he's been, semi-uncommitted to football in the off seasons and stuff like that, and kind of had to take a step back every single year and decide if he still wants to play. And I don't doubt that happens again next offseason if we lose in the NFC Championship or divisional round. I don't think that won't happen. Again, that he'll rethink everything. So I think that whole deal was literally just a placeholder just to make sure that he finishes his career in Green Bay. I think he plays 2 more years. I think he takes 2 more good stabs at a Super Bowl. And then if he can't get it, then I think he just realizes like, hey, I had an incredible football career. This team has drafted the next guy, and I make $50 million a year. So it's time for me to go and do whatever Aaron Rodgers does in his free time that nobody knows about, except for him and Shailene Woodley.
Well, fun fact is, apparently I am like in this TMZ chat group now, and they broke up again, so they're not getting married anymore, Wyatt. So
they broke up again.
Yeah. Before we go to the next burning question here, let me jump over into the comments here over on youtube.com/manhour. Mr. Beastie Combs himself says Urban Meyer didn't have a problem partying in Jacksonville. Wyatt, why don't you?
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
I'm good. Let's just say that I'm good. I'm not partying in Jacksonville. If Miami is this close, if Tampa is this close, if Fort Lauderdale is this close, if Panama City Beach is this close, if Daytona is this close, if Orlando is this close, I'm good.
Speaking of which, I'll
there's
be in
nothing
Panama
in
City
Jacksonville
at the end of June, so we'll have to link up. By the way, so
Okay, yeah, that's like, I think that's like 5 hours for me, something like that.
okay, yeah, well,
That's over because Panama City's over like in the Panhandle.
yeah, it's right by Alabama. Yeah, so we will definitely figure it out. So the next burning question that we have. So Buck, you are a Chiefs fan. Wyatt, you are a Packers fan. Who are your second teams that you root for each week in the NFL season?
So we actually have, this is like my friend group down here. We actually all cheer consecutively. We've all got different teams, but we all cheer for the Lions too.
Really?
Because how can you not? I mean, there's
Because
they're
for
so
one, they're a
terrible.
division team. You can't root for a division team.
They're a division. They're not. They're basically not even a division team at this point.
Oh
We
my
beat them
God.
2 times a year every year. It's like, I think Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers has more wins at Ford Field than Matt Stafford does. It's just not. It's not that close. So, and everybody likes the underdog. Kind of succeeding here and
The
there.
lovable losers.
Right. Who doesn't love the lovable losers? And Dan Campbell gets out there and he does his whole show where, my guys are trying so hard. We just keep losing. He's out here crying on national television about it. And, I have a buddy down here who is a Lions fan. His name's Cam. So shout out Cam. And he has a Dan Campbell jersey. Did you know the Lions are selling Dan Campbell jerseys now?
What?
They are that trash that they sell jerseys for their head coach. They're like, look at our head coach. He cries when we lose. He really cares about us. Look. He's a good guy too. He knows football.
He played for the Lions, all right?
Yeah. Did you know he was on the 0-16 team?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Definitely know that.
He was literally there before and after the Stafford era. The year he played for the Lions was the last year before they got Stafford because they went 0-16 and had the first pick and drafted him out of Georgia. Which, speaking of, that was a pretty good quarterback class, if I remember correctly. And
I don't remember who was in that class.